Alrighty, we are live. We have breaking news. We have a PDS tornado on the ground in New Albany, Mississippi here. This is a very large and extremely dangerous tornado. This is approaching Blue Springs, Ecru, and Thaxton. This is a very strong tornado. Holy crap. Yeah, that's extremely strong. Near Esperanza. Look at that. 116.77 miles per hour going one way. This thing is just now starting to strengthen. This is getting even stronger. And that is ripping right through Esperanza, Flatwood, and Rocky Ford, Mississippi. Holy crap.
So again, this is a devastating situation. Mr. Storm just joined the call.
This is an absolutely destructive tornado here, ripping right through Esperanza, Flatwood, and Rocky Ford, Mississippi. If you're in this area, you need to get to shelter right now. And those surrounding areas are going to get absolutely pelted by large hail. I mean, we're talking hail up to lime size possible. Luckily, we have all of our chasers right here, and Davis does have, I believe, Stormrunner Media as well. So we're going to be able to get a view of how big this is, but I'm sure it is a wedge. So I'm going to tune into Brandon Kopic here, or Brad Arnold, I believe, and I'll be able to see how big this thing actually is. But that's really not good.
I just wanted to tell you, this is not a wedge.
Okay.
But it is a very large, it's weird. It's like an uncondensed, messy. It's not really like a cone, but it's not a rope. It's not. It's weird.
Okay. There was a CC drop on this about 10 scans ago,
and
there
is. There is still a CC drop over Flatwood.
Okay, so yeah, you can see the progression of it. Again, all of that stuff north of there, that's all contamination because of the hail core with this sill. But again, this is dropping big-time hail and has likely a very large tornado.
Look at that hook echo on reflectivity now.
And the velocities have gotten insanely tight. I mean, we're talking gate-to-gate shear, or I guess I was looking at the wrong radar site, but gate-to-gate shear on this is very high. Or no, that was actually the right radar site, I think. Was it?
Yeah, the velocities are just breaking. This thing is very strong. So,
this is very strong. So,
again, Storm Chaser Brad Arnold does not have a view of it right now. It is very likely that this is a rain wrap tornado because this is a high precipitation supercell. But we have a very large debris signature there over Flatwood. It became very clear now that that's definitely a debris signature. Flatwood, Mississippi, we have a tornado, and again, if this stays on the ground, we are extremely concerned that this is going to make its way dangerously close to New Albany. So if you are in New Albany, you need to be running to your safe spot, not walking. Again, this is a nasty super.
Oh my gosh! Look at the velocities.
Yeah, the velocities are just broken at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess that's not really what's happening, right?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you get a tornado of a certain strength, and we're still a decent distance away from the radar, it's going to kind of mess with it a bit. So, I mean, again, either way, though, you should treat this as a very strong tornado, because that's likely what it is here near Flatwood. But, again, this is going to be moving northeast, and, again, this is going to go dangerously close to New Albany, Mississippi.
If you're in New Albany, you need to take shelter right now, because this is a fairly large but extremely dangerous tornado. That again, that hook echo is insane. Yeah, this is the strongest tornado of the day. I wouldn't say tornado emergency is likely. I would say if it strengthens a little bit and does go right towards New Albany, that would be considered, but it doesn't really matter at this point. All we need to make sure is that everyone in the warning is taking shelter.
Yeah, so apparently it's pronounced New Albany.
New Albany. I should be able to know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, I messed it up too, don't feel bad. But, again, a large tornado on the ground here, over Flatwood, Mississippi, and again, this is eventually going to make its way towards New Albany. Now, New Albany is not a small town. It has a population of about 8,000, which for northeastern Mississippi, that's a lot. It is the county seat, of the county it's in. I believe that this is, this would be Union County. So, again, if you are in Union County, no matter where you are, you need to be seeking shelter because this is a large tornado on the ground. And, again, off to the north, we've got a dangerous hail core with this. I mean, this is, again, one for lime-sized hail, but I would not be surprised to see this drop in, baseballs, especially a few scans ago.
Yeah.
But, again, New Albany and Myrtle, you need to be running, not walking to your safe spot.
Again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. You need to take cover now. I mean, this is really, this is getting close to ripping right through New Albany, but again, this is going to be crossing the interstate here, and I'd say just about 5 to 10 minutes, so you really don't have a lot of time left. If you're in New Albany, you need to make sure you're getting in a basement, an interior room, a closet, a bathtub, whatever you can do to protect your life. Make sure you're covering your head, and trying to, put a bunch of, fluffy things like a mattress or whatever on your head to protect your life, because again, this is a very dangerous and a large tornado. So Brad Arnold is trying to get out ahead of it. He's trying to get into the town here as this continues to move off to the north.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now that this thing is entirely rain wrapped. There's no way he's seeing that.
Oh, okay. So that just makes this thing even more dangerous, because I know a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll get the warning and they'll see, okay, we're under a tornado warning. They go outside to see if they can find the tornado, and if they don't see it, which you're not going to be able to, they don't take it seriously. So trust me, there is a large tornado on the ground and is moving right towards town. So, okay, there is that CC drop. Now it's out of the contamination, and it's large. Or actually...
And again, I want to kind of piggyback off the point you just made. These high precipitation supercells, nobody ever takes them seriously because they're like, oh, I can't see that tornado. It's definitely not on the ground. They're just, again, this is just a little area rotation. But last year, because of that, the deadliest tornado of the entire year ended up being Valley View, Texas, because it was a rain-wrapped tornado. If people don't see the tornado, they take it like it's not on the ground, which is a horrible thing to do in a situation like this, because a lot of our strongest tornadoes in history have been HP supercells, high precipitation. So again, you need to be running to your safe spot if you are in New Albany. Again, we've got a large debris signature with this thing near Mitchell.
It literally looks like there's 2 velocity couplers. Is that like a glitch or what?
It's just glitching out. Again, the velocities at this point can't hardly be trusted. But again, this is a huge tornado here, most likely, approaching Mitchell and New Albany, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, there's not a whole lot stopping this thing in the near future.
Yeah. So again, I mean, the radar presentation on this thing is, getting worse and worse by the scan here, or, I guess, in terms of just the health of the supercell, better and better here. But again, this is gonna go, likely through the southern part of New Albany, Mississippi here, and then, this is gonna cross the interstate. What's up, Lucy? What's up, Sydney? Morris Jack? What's up, Henry? Your best friend does search and rescue. That's cool. This is gonna be bad. Yeah, I mean, I am, not excited for what's gonna happen here, because it really, like David said, there's not a whole lot that's really stopping this tornado, and I'm afraid that CC drop is going to ignite, once it goes into New Albany. So, again, all we gotta hope is that it weakens, which, obviously those velocities are just a mess now. So, with the radar coverage we have, there's a little bit that can tell us how strong this is. By the way, we have a hail spike on our storm, but, I mean, we really don't know for sure if this is, a strengthening wedge. The last time we saw this, it was a large cone that wasn't fully condensed, but now it's completely rain-wrapped. So I'm gonna let Davis, say some stuff.
Yeah, so again, that debris signature there, just because the colors are getting lighter, guys, does not mean anything. You have to keep in mind, almost nobody lives out here, so the fact that there's a debris signature at all is extremely concerning. You also have to keep in mind, at this point in the atmosphere, we're looking about 6,000 feet up, and we still very clearly see that debris signature, so it's likely that this tornado is lifting debris at least, I'd say, 10 to 15,000 feet up into the atmosphere. And again, as this goes through New Albany, it is very likely that, as Vincent said, we are going to see this debris signature get a lot larger, and this tornado gets a lot more dangerous once that happens, because again, the most dangerous part about tornadoes are not it's not the actual funnel itself. You don't get sucked up inside of the funnel like a lot of people think. What happens is they throw around all this debris, and it hits you in the head, it hits you in the stomach, it hits you anywhere at 200 miles an hour. That is going to hurt. So again, you want to make sure that you're getting underground, and in a situation this dire, you want to make sure that you're protecting your head, because this is a nasty tornado. Again, you can see the inflow on correlation coefficient, actually. That is crazy. Again, this is a large tornado, most likely, that is approaching downtown New Albany as we speak. Again, this is a devastating situation here, guys.
Yeah, so again, if you're in this area, the best you can do is obviously get to shelter, best being a basement. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get out, because I know there's a lot of mobile home, trailer parks and stuff, in this region of the country, so if you happen to be in one, you really need to get out, because this is one of those tornadoes where it is, your chances of survival are very slim, if not zero, if you are in a mobile home. So again, you need to get out right now and get to a substantial home, and now we are pretty much seconds away from this tornado entering the southern side of New Albany, Mississippi. So if you happen to be watching from that area, and now it's in New Albany, so we have a tornado in New Albany, Mississippi, as we speak. This is really not good.
Yeah, I'm praying that this occludes. It looks like it could be, just based off of the reflectivity presentation. But again, if you're in New Albany, you cannot just assume that. If you're in New Albany, you need to be getting underground now, if you can. Again, if you can't get on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room, again, this is just a devastating tornado here. Even if this doesn't enter New Albany, it's already done quite a bit of significant damage. Again, significant CC drop for the past, 10 scans or so on the correlation.
You're getting that church parking lot. Go. Please go. Thank you. So it should be right in between that on the rain. Holy smokes. Is that right?
So, that's the likely reason why this isn't going to rain. Again, the things you need to have is that everything in shelter and this velocity got much tighter and much stronger. So this is
in a pocket of high
Bring up to Mississippi 15.
Let me get up into New Albany.
And the velocities are likely very contaminated as well. There is a chance that this tornado is entirely dissipated, because if you look at the actual, again, the original velocity couplet with this thing, it's a lot weaker than it was. And again, that crap off to the north there, that's heavily contaminated. That's not our actual area of circulation associated with this tornado. But again, either way, you guys need to assume that this is still on the ground and be in your safe spot immediately if you're in New Albany.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize that you could hear Brad Arnold, but I think it's fixed. Yeah. Okay, so
and they
just issued a Newsphere thunderstorm warning for the northern part of this severe warning. Well, actually, no, for all of this supercell here. So they are warning this for lime-sized hail. They also do have the tornado possible tag, which is interesting because, as David said, this might be lifting. Is that what you said?
Yeah, there's a good chance that this is occluding.
So they might, kind of giving this the tornado possible tag, that might be a sign that this is likely lifting here. So I think they will reissue another tornado warning just because of how strong the velocities are. Will they issue a PDS radar indicated? That's a possibility. But we're hoping that this is now lifting here as we speak. But again, if you're, and the velocities are just gone. Yeah,
and again, that what appears to be a CC drop there, again, that is likely associated with our area of inflow rather than actual debris. Now, we did get that PDS tornado warning, and it has continued. They're saying it's a radar-confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado, which I guess obviously you should trust the National Weather Service over to teenage kids on the internet, but I'm looking at Brad Arnold right now. I believe, unless this is just a crazy-looking wall cloud, I believe he's got the funnel on his stream. Never mind. But either way, I just don't think that this is likely on the ground. But you need to be taking this seriously and taking shelter. That is almost certainly the funnel, actually.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, he may have a large tornado
Okay, so we might still actually have a very dangerous situation happening. So Vince is coming up from the south, and Brad's coming, he's trying to get, he's doing a hook slice, I think.
Yeah. Vince has some damage, by the way. You can't hardly see his feed right now, but he had some damage on the right side of the road just a minute ago.
I'm sure
Which,
that...
again, confuses me, because if the actual area of circulation, maybe this really was just a velocity couple handoff. I don't think it was. I don't think that's an actual lowering that we have there. I think that's just a scary-looking wall cloud, but, again, either way, you need to be in your safe spot immediately if you were in New Albany.
Yeah, again, these velocities are heavily contaminated, again, due to the large hill, so that's why we're not freaking out about this, because I know it looks insane. But, yeah, it is Rain Rap Storm Chaser 575.
So you can see the actual area of rotation very clearly again. The actual area of rotation that is still potentially producing a tornado is southeast, or on the south side of New Albany, Mississippi.
Yeah, so somewhere in this massive contamination, there is your velocity couplet. So right into here is where we likely have, obviously, that strong rotation, which, again, we're not completely sure if this is just a very, low, scary-looking, and rapidly rotating wall cloud, or if that actually is the condensation funnel. I don't have him pulled up, but according to Davis, there could still be a tornado on the ground via Vince Welty's stream, but it looks like Brad Arnold just performed a hook slice, so he's trying to get behind it now. But yeah, this is very rain wrapped, so you're not going to be able to see this. So if you're in Glenfield, New Albany, North Haven, Keowanville, Parks, you guys need to take shelter. But areas down the line, if this does stay on the ground, we're talking, Pleasant Ridge, Locum, Molino, Halltown, Parks. All you guys need to prepare to take shelter. But if you you guys need to be in shelter, because you are in the extended PDS warning. So again, we're not 100% sure if this is on the ground, but according to the National Weather Service, they are convinced that this is on the ground according to radar here. So we'll have to continue to watch this.
Yeah, and again, either way, very significant area of rotation that has a history of producing a strong tornado. So you should take this just as seriously either way. Again, very nasty storm here. If you're in this area, we need you to be underground if you can. Again, if you're in a mobile home, get out of there, find a more substantial shelter. You know how it goes in Mississippi. That goes for Dumas, Baldwin, and all those surrounding areas that are in that brand new PDS tornado warning.
Yeah, and again, that...
oh my gosh, yeah, velocity strengthened up again.
The vertically integrated liquid signature has been very impressive over Myrtle, so that's indicative of, again, that very large hill course. This is a classic, embedded supercell here that's hopefully going to get swallowed up. Is this part of the line or what?
What?
Is this supercell part of our line or what? Is this part of a cluster?
It's a part of the line, I believe. Yeah, it's a part of the line.
Yeah, so... yeah, those are your velocities here. You know what this reminds me? This reminds me of Butte, Mississippi. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but...
Well, Butte, Mississippi looks like that because it was really far from radar, but yeah, I can kind of see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But, again, potentially a tornado back on the ground here near New Albany again. And we're almost certain that it lifted for at least a brief period of time, but, again, it doesn't matter. You need to be in your safe spot if you're in this area. Again, no debris signature or anything, so I'm going to guess that this is not on the ground. Again, going back and forth between chasers here. And again, this thing is just going to be so rain-wrapped if it is on the ground.
So according to a group chat I'm in, Brad says it's on the ground, and rain-wrapped, producing damage and power flashes. So... I don't know how old that report is, but according to Brad, we could possibly still have a tornado on the ground. The velocities, again, there's a lot of contamination. Are those pink pixels, were those real, or are those just glitched out?
What do you mean? Oh, our color schemes are the same, remember?
Oh, right, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah.
Well, either way, again, strong rotation. They're northeast of New Albany now. Again, reportedly, this may potentially still be a tornado on the ground, so if you're in this area, you need to be running to your safe spot.
The inflow is getting clogged up and there's no CC drop, so that's what's kind of trying to convince me that it's still not on the ground, but I mean, the velocities are still very impressive. So, I mean, either way, you need to get to shelter if you're on the extended PDS or the old one. But if you're south or anywhere west of New Albany, you guys can go ahead and get out of shelter there.
We're not too sure as of right now, Sly, but there's a good chance that it is.
Yes. So again, we don't have permission from these chasers to pull them up on stream, but according to them looking on our devices here, that it could still be on the ground.
We do have Storm Intermediate's permission, and again, they're quite far away from where this is actually happening. They've got somebody pulled over on the side of a road here. Oh crap, they're getting pulled over. Wait.
Oh, they are?
What is happening? No, they're not getting pulled over, but...
Looks like Hunter Croft is trying to go up Highway 45 in case this does stay on the ground and is very long tracked. So I think that's a good idea from him because he likely was not going to be able to catch up to it, so he bailed on that idea, and I think he's just trying to get ahead of it. And I think he will have time, but again, this, I believe, is fast moving. Fairly. So this is moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So again, you're in a life-threatening situation if you are in this tornado warning. But again, we're trying to figure out if this is still on the ground or not. And velocities are glitched again.
By the way, I do want to mention that the community of Falmouth, Kentucky, within the next hour, they are going to be shutting off all utilities. First responders are getting out of there. If you are in Falmouth, Kentucky, you've got an hour to get out of there. The evacuation is mandatory by 8 p.m. So if you're in Falmouth, Kentucky, get out and get somewhere safe because, again, we are seeing extreme rapid onset flooding in these areas. Again, we have received, just from today alone, we've received over half a foot of rain in this community, and I mean, over the past few days, in total, we have received 1 to 2 feet of rain total, which, I mean, again, we are getting reports of entirely, flooded out roadways, houses, water coming into houses. Again, very dangerous, extremely dangerous situation. So, again, Falmouth, you need to be evacuating. There is a mandatory evacuation order in effect, and that goes for Butler as well, but Butler's is a few hours old, so hopefully everybody's out of Butler by now, but
yeah,
Falmouth.
So if you're in Butler County, Kentucky, you need to get out because it is, obviously, it's starting to, the rain totals are starting to pile up there. And, obviously, you guys are on the side of that, kind of like mountain range or whatever. So that's where all that water is going to kind of flow down and collect. And so that's why it's so important that everyone evacuates the town there. But we did just get a new, severe thunderstorm warning here for, Toccopola, Algoma, Verona, Tupelo, Saltillo, I can't say that, dude, Ecru, and Blue Springs, and Guntown, Mississippi. If you're in this area, get indoors and away from windows. Those are the tornado possible tags, so quarter size sail at 60 mile per hour wind as expected. I think that's the most I've ever struggled with pronouncing a town name.
I might have to go back and clip that on Twitter.
Please do it.
People are now saying the Ohio is supposed to climb up another 10 feet. Thunder over Louisville stops. Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance. Again, it depends on which part of the Ohio in particular that you're talking about. But what I can tell you with absolute certainty, because I've seen it with my own eyes, even if you're not down here in Appalachia or in the Tennessee Valley, we have some extreme flooding ongoing in some of these communities in southern Illinois and southern Indiana. We have fields completely wiped out, now turned into ponds. We've been seeing dam failures. A lot of very nasty stuff out here in the Ohio Valley that you really never want to see. So again, just because you're not down there and you're in the high risk of excessive rainfall or flash flooding does not mean anything. That is the area where we have the greatest confidence that there's definitely flash flooding ongoing. But even areas outside of that, there's still a good likelihood. Again, and moderate risk of flash flooding is still nothing to play around with. And again, I've seen it with my own eyes, guys. And I'm up here in East Central Illinois, so just imagine how bad it is down here in extreme southern Illinois and extreme southern Indiana. Just today, some of these communities in extreme southern Illinois have received over a foot of rain, and that's on top of what they already have.
Yeah, I've been in a moderate risk for flash flooding myself. I was in one last year, and I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was back in September of 2 years ago, I think, or last year. We had a moderate risk here in southern New England. I mean, we saw catastrophic flooding in places. I mean, we saw multiple water rescues. We saw even fatalities related to how deep the water was in some places. And again, we usually don't struggle too much with flooding coming from, heavy rain. But, I mean, it's just something that you don't want to mess around with. And obviously that high risk is something, I mean, any place with a high risk is super rare. But I will say, I do have some good news. It looks like the hail core is significantly decreasing in size here. So, considering that this is part of our line, if this continues to get kind of swallowed up almost, I think that is a sign of the supercell itself strengthening, and I think that could definitely decrease the tornadic aspect of this cell. So I think that we could have our saving grace with that, but again, it appears that we still do have a rain rat tornado on the ground, but I mean, it's so hard to tell because velocities are glitched out, and there is no CC drop, so we really aren't sure if this is on the ground or not. Really all we have is Vince Welty and Brad Arnold to rely on here. But that's all I got as of right now for you guys.
I got somebody asking about Louisville. Louisville's fine for the rest of the night, but you need to remember that significant flash flooding is still going to be a possibility in Louisville, and it's likely ongoing. Today, again, alone with today, Louisville has received over half a foot of rain for most of the downtown area. So if you do know anybody out there in Louisville, Kentucky, make sure they're doing okay. Again, I can confirm with my own eyes that, and again, reports from family, that southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and even portions of Kentucky along the Ohio, very nasty in terms of flash flooding right now.
They just updated the
warning.
warning.
By the way, our tornado here, again, you can't trust the velocities at this point, but we are not going to confirm or deny a tornado at this time because while there's no debris signature, you got to remember we're also crossing a river right now, so it's virtually impossible for there to be a debris signature. But they did just update this PDS tornado warning again. It is still a PDS radar confirmed tornado, so the National Weather Service still has confidence that this is a large and extremely dangerous tornado approaching Dumas.
I didn't realize that it was actually crossing a river, so never mind about what I said earlier. I'm gonna go grab the charger because my phone's at 1%, so I'll be right back.
So, again, we're going to continue to watch this area here for a little bit longer. For anybody wondering, is this a possibility to see again later today? It certainly can't be ruled out, okay? We're going to be talking about more discrete supercells developing back in sections of west central Mississippi. They definitely could have that same possibility to have at least a brief chance to produce a strong tornado. So we're going to watch west central Mississippi later tonight, but outside of that, I really would doubt a significant tornado threat anywhere else anyways. Again, maybe you're talking about, brief spin-up tornadoes, but again, currently a flash flood emergency remains in effect for the downtown Memphis metro. We still have rain falling in Memphis. We still have rain falling.
I came back down and I heard emergency and my heart jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is still likely producing at least some very strong rotation. But again, they still do have the observe tag with the PDS tag as well. So it looks like our chasers are meeting up in New Albany, or I guess at this point they're probably doing search and rescue here. Yeah, I think that's the case, because I think they'd be going after this at this point, because it's starting to get away from them.
Okay. So, let's see. Watching from Wheeler, Mississippi. Again, most areas in Mississippi are going to be fine tonight, guys. It's really these areas where we're expecting discrete activity to pop up that we're concerned about. I will say if you are in Wheeler, you are included in that PDS tornado warning there, so you need to be seeking shelter immediately. Again, we're not confident that there's a tornado on the ground, and even if it is, it's probably going to go far off to your west, but you need to seek shelter either way, because in situations like this, we see this all the time, where a tornado will completely change its track towards the end of its course. So you need to be in your safe spot if you are in Wheeler there.
Is Freddie McKinney not live, or is he live?
I don't think Freddie's live.
Oh, I have one of his random streams playing. I need to get rid of that. I'm glad it didn't replace it with like a case of it or something. Alright. Let's just pull the SPC up here, because why not? And I just ruined my color thing. Nope, we're good. It's good. There we go. Alright. So again, that tornado is likely crossing just to the north of New Albany, near Concord, Keownville, Molino, and Pleasant Ridge. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting to shelter. But if you're in Dumas, Pine Grove, Dry Creek, and Blackland, make sure you are getting into your safe spots there. Because again, this is crossing a river, apparently. I'm not sure which one. Is this... Where is this?
This is the Lake Tallahatchie, or the Little Tallahatchie River.
Okay.
Okay. So guys, I do unfortunately have to end off my coverage here. I wish I didn't, but I'm going to go ahead and turn a redirect on Mr. Storm Cannon again. It should automatically take you guys over to there. Let me go ahead and turn on that redirect really quickly. Again, I wish I could stay here for longer, but unfortunately I cannot. The good news is we covered it at its strongest point, and it's likely at this point that it has occluded. So, again, if you want to keep watching this intense severe weather coverage, make sure to stay tuned in here, and we are going to go ahead and turn on a redirect to Mr. Stormstream. So we're going to go to live, redirect, add, and let's do Mr. Storm. Remember, by the way, we are going to be doing a chill stream later tonight as well, if, nothing else crazy happens. So make sure that you stay tuned into the channel, have notifications on for that, because we have some really fun donation incentives as well. And there's a chance that I'm going to have to do some pretty crazy stuff. So anyway, we got that redirect to Mr. Stormstream on, so hopefully it should send all you lovely people over there, all 16 of you guys that are watching now. So thank you all for tuning in. My coverage ends here. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.
Good work.
Alright, you should have about 18 more people coming your way.
Alright, I'm just waiting to see that number come in. But again, this tornado is likely just to the north of Keownville, Mississippi here, with that PDS warning in effect. We got a Davis raid oncoming.
Hopefully. It should work. I set up the redirect before I ended.
John McKinney did. Oh, there we go. There's Cy. Again, velocities are highly contaminated here, but I do think that since this really touched down, they have weakened. Yeah, that the inflow is getting clogged up completely at this point. Let's go. Raid.
I don't know why it's not doing the message. Davis and his viewers are joining.
Oh, it didn't do it for, John. Because he raided me, like, I don't know, like a week ago, but...
Let me know if it automatically sent you guys over here again. It should have. Not for me. Why, bro?
It's alright. I mean, it's not the end.
It's probably because I set it up last second. Oh, it said it's never worked for him either, so.
Oh.
Oh, anyway, I gotta pop out, so I'll
Alright.
talk to you later.
Alright, see you, man.
Mr. Storm is...
Alright, so that was the one and only Davis Does Weather. By the way, for those of you that are tuning in from his stream, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button because we are one away from 1.2k subscribers. I know it's kind of off topic, but let's freaking go. You don't know you left before it could switch? Alright. Alright, so I believe we got a new tornado warning. Wow, okay. They continue the PDS warning. Holy crap. Okay, so if you're in Dumas, Jumpertown, Boonville, Rienzi, and Jacinto, please get to shelter. We have the third PDS. Wow. So that's actually not expected at all. Wow. Okay, so again, if you're just not tuning in, we have a PDS tornado on the ground, moving towards Jumpertown and Boonville, Mississippi. Here, right now it's hitting Dumas. Again, this is an area that we talked about earlier today. You got another round of severe weather coming in, and this is likely producing a large tornado. I don't know if this recycled or if this is just completely rain wrapped or what. But I mean, this is looking very strong. Again, this is the third time the the National Weather Service has issued the PDS warning here, and if they do reissue it, it will likely cross into southern Kentucky here. But areas down the line that need to be aware of this is Renzi, Synagogue, Biggersville, Allentown, Searcytown, Jobs, and Corinth. Again, if it goes towards Corinth, that's when the situation is going to get a whole lot more worrisome here. So again, this is fairly slow moving actually. So luckily these areas will likely be able to get into shelter if they take this warning seriously. Again, I think that the PDS tag comes up on the phone whenever tornado warning gets issued. I think that's what happens. Yeah, I cannot believe that they reissued it. Again, I was not expecting that, I'm going to be honest with you guys. But this is just south of Mitchell, Buena Vista, and Claryville, Mississippi here. PDS tag. And that's in effect for the next 47 minutes. Connor Croft is trying to blast north up here. I mean, he's going way too fast. I'm not going to lie. He's going way over the speed limit, I'm sure. But I wouldn't blame him. And I'm going to admit, I would probably do the same thing in this situation because I know he's trying to bag this tornado here. And he is taking advantage of its relatively slow movement. Yeah, it's crossing into Dumas right now. Again, if these velocities are correct, which I'm not really confident they are, we could have gate-to-gate shear of, I mean, we're talking like 40 against 100, so about 140 of gate-to-gate shear. But the thing is that the next scan, it's all glitched out and contaminated, so that kind of shows us that there's really not a clear signal as to how, you know, strong these velocities actually are. Yeah, Connor is zooming. Gosh, dude, we are one away from 1.2K. But again, the support on the stream's been great. Yeah, it's just a glitch. Every other, if you notice, every other scan is glitched out. So, but again, a PDS tornado warning is in effect. In effect. Wow. Alright, I'm just posting this on Twitter here so everyone knows that we're live. Okay, so they just issued another tornado warning. Let's see what this is for. And they just issued another tornado warning here. This is for the southern area of rotation. This is for Ecru, Blue Springs, Guntown, Saltino, and Baldwin. And for Dumas and Jumpertown. There are multiple warnings overlapping each other. In some areas, that's crazy. Some areas are currently under 3 tornado warnings. And if we look at the last scan here, there was that rotation. It's so hard to tell. It's moving north here. It's going just to the west of Ecru. So honestly, if you're south of Ecru, you're gonna be fine. Because again, that movement's more or less northeast rather than just east to west. Well, you know what? I guess, yeah. But again, PDS warning remains in effect for Dumas, Mississippi. Again, just making sure that everyone knows that we're live here. Alright. But again, PDS warning remains in effect. I don't know if the velocity's updated here. Yeah, they did. Very messy. Again, it looked much more concerning before it went into New Albany. And since then, it appears that it has weakened out a little bit. So. Again, if you're just joining us, a large tornado likely just ripped through New Albany and Dumas, Mississippi. Radar scope is not that contaminated, and it shows some strong rotation. 127 gate radar scope, which is 140 pixels around 5 miles away, which would make gate to gate 229. Let's pull that up actually. Radar just broke. Well, that may still be accurate only because every other scan the velocities break, so we're not gonna necessarily believe that it is exactly that strong, but that is an interesting point you brought up, Sai, so I'm actually gonna check that out now. If that's true, then this is still a very dangerous situation, which, it obviously still is, but, this is still really not good. Okay, so we're gonna pull up the radar site here. I don't know how far away we are. Okay, so we're gonna use Columbus. Yeah, again, so look, that's the mess of contamination. I don't know what scan you're talking about. Let's go back one. And I don't know why it's not working. There we go. Yeah, no, I don't see anything crazy. Yeah, no, that's all contamination, so. Yeah, that's not, okay. We just jumped ahead scans here. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think this is weakening out. So, if they do remove the PDS tag, which I'm pretty confident they will, and they replace it with the radar indicated tag, I think it's safe to say that we can end off. I do want to pull up Storm Runner Media and just see if they have any damage. Because we never did get a clear signature that this was even on the ground. Probably because this was rain wrapped and because the velocities were heavily contaminated. Oh wow, okay, so yeah, if you look at that, you can see that this is recycled. So the radar presentation, look at that. That's when it recycled. The hook, oh wow. Look at that. Now it's full blown. So if you're in Jumpertown and Rienzi, you're up next. So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what we've got going on right now, but you can still see some significant rotation getting ready to go through Blue Springs, Mississippi. Again, the storm motion is northeast here, so. And I'm pretty much convinced that this is not on the ground. Look at the hail spike out of this thing. I'm wondering what our vertical integral liquid is actually looking like. Wow, so it's actually picking up down towards Ecru more than our Dumas part. Yeah, look, it's been weakening ever since. Right into here, where your tornado possibly is, going up towards Jumpertown and Rienzi. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we have a PDS tornado on the ground moving towards Jumpertown and Rienzi. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting to shelter. We also do have this, we got another tornado warning now for our new Albany area of rotation near Ecru. You can see another hook echo developing, and this is entering the same exact area that, you know, produced the, or the same environment that produced that strong tornado up towards Dumas. So if you're in this area, please be sure to get to shelter. Again, that's your clear hook echo, and this is at the southern part of our line. So what's going to happen here is that you're going to have a wide open warm sector with a ton of inflow that's going to be able to come into this thing. And if I were Brad Arnold, honestly, I mean, I'm sure he's not doing this, but I would go for this storm here near Ecru. Again, I'm not a storm chaser, but I think that's a pretty obvious decision there because he's on an interstate as well. So he's going to be able to blast into this thing here. But again, wide open, warm sector, able to bring in a ton of inflow to this. So if you're north of Tupelo, near Saltillo, Guntown, Baldwin, and Blue Springs, Mississippi, make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows. And I'm going to say right now, this area of rotation looks more concerning than our Dumas area of rotation. What's up, Tenacious? How's it going? Yeah, we're so close to 1.2k subscribers, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Playing Roblox Twisted, nice. Alright, I'm just gonna pin that message there. Again, the viewership on this stream has been absolutely insane, so I can't thank you guys enough. Obviously, it's for a good cause, so that's the important part here. Now, downtown Tupelo is also under a severe warning here for quarter-sized hail, 6-mile-per-hour winds, and a possible tornado. And again, that possible tornado tag is just for this part of the line that's trying to produce a tornado. And I can actually see this whole kind of cluster of severe storms and supercells coming together, kind of congealing to this one, mega, massive supercell, Okay, this is gonna end up being kind of where the hail core is gonna be located at, and I think that with this wide open area of warm air and warm inflow, you're gonna start to see some curvature develop, which we already are, and I think you're gonna get a ton of inflow winds again feeding into the storm. And I think if RFD continues to pick up on the backside, that's how you're gonna get your tornado to come down here south of New Albany. So I'm very concerned about this area. Again, I don't know why the PDS tag and PDS warning is still in effect here for Dumas. This is radar confirmed once again. And I mean, for the past scans, there's nothing much that shows a strong tornado. Again, that is mostly contaminated, so it's pretty much impossible to tell at this point. I mean, there's still some significant rotation, but again, this is not law enforcement confirmed. This is not radar. I mean, this is not spotters confirmed. This is all radar confirmed. And we are so close to 1.2k subscribers. We are one away. It's free. If you have any alts, do it. I'm not usually this. I don't usually beg for subscribers, but I do really want to hit 1.2k while we're live. It would be really cool. So if we can make that happen, that would be awesome. So I know we have a lot of people in here, so if you are new to this channel, be sure to consider hitting that subscribe button. Brad's stream looks so ominous. Brad has a funnel and it's big. Okay, so yeah, that's the same storm we were talking about. Like I said, yep, look at the hook echo. There it is. And look, you can even see it, all that hail starting to develop up here. Okay, so another tornadic situation is developing here for Blue Springs, Reese, Wallerville, Mountain City, Ellistown, and Birmingham, Mississippi. Again, this is warned for ping pong ball size hail. That hail core is really coming together. Wow, look at that. Again, that is maxing out at 79.54 kilograms per meter squared. So that gives you guys an idea of how big the coverage is of that hail core where you're seeing the ping pong ball size hail. So if we look at scope here, we'll be able to take a look at this. So I believe scope runs a little bit deeper here. So yeah, so if we look at scope, scope has us getting down to 71.8 kilograms per meter squared. Alright, I just gotta meet up for a second. 1 second, everybody. Alright, we're back. Yes, sir! We hit it! 1.2k, let's go. Spam those W's in the chat. Let's go, dude. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Alright, I hate to do this. You know what? Hold on. Before we end off here, I don't know if we will actually end off. According to Brad, we have a tornado on the ground. So yeah, that's not good. But let me mute up for a second, and I'll be right back. Alright, everybody, we're back, but unfortunately, I do have to end off the live stream here. I do need to do some chores. I need to clean up. I need to eat dinner. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been a very successful stream. Thank you guys so much for 1.22k subscribers. That's been a big milestone that I wanted to reach for a while now. So, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And, yeah, that is pretty much it. So, thank you all for tuning in. See you guys in the next video.